Hey guys, just got done watching Shelly's live stream, and hey, hi Joy. I thought she was going to stream earlier, and so I kind of waited until she was done because I really wanted to join her live stream and hang out with her and that kind of stuff. So, hi Kat. Hi Joy again. I know it was fun. That was pretty cool that she did that for an entire week, huh? I thought took a lot of stamina. What are you guys doing? You up late? You guys are up late. So I'm basically a night owl. I'm up sometimes till 4 or 5 in the morning, and oh, you're in Australia. Okay, so it's like summertime, and okay, it's almost 5 p.m. Where in Australia? Hi, Annette. Thanks for coming, you guys. Where are you in Australia, Kat? Oh, okay, New South Wales. So where is that in relation to Perth? Oh, okay, so you're about an hour inland from Sydney. Okay. I don't know Australia extremely well, although I almost moved to Perth at one point. I've been coffee dyeing today, so I'm kind of good. Well, I'm glad you're here, Joy. I'm just trying to get these kind of put off my desk. All these tags. When I coffee dye, I just go for it because might as well. It's on the west. Okay, Sydney's on the Perth is on the west side. Sydney is on the other side. Okay. I've heard that Perth is a really is a cool town. My ex-husband had a friend who was like he worked for a staffing agency there, and he had told my husband, ex-husband now, he had told him that he could find him a pretty decent job and stuff. So at one point we were gonna move there, and then I don't know. I didn't really want to take my kids to another country, and I don't know. I kind of chickened out. I sort of regret it a little bit, but we also almost moved to Hawaii at one point too, but heard some rough stuff about Hawaii, and anyway. I'm happy in Spokane. I've lived in Spokane for almost 30 years, so I feel like it's home. Hi, Myrna. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Man, you have some stamina, I tell ya. I bet you're worn out. I bet you're worn out from a week of streaming. So all of these, I have a thing for paper, you guys, like really bad. And so all of these are like just images that I had printed out years ago that I used to color them and put them on greeting cards, And I literally have like thousands of cards that I've made, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. Like, I wish I could find someone to donate them to. Yeah, no, these are printed, Kat. And I just, you know, I was going through my like boxes of printed like quotes and stuff today, and because I was thinking, you know, they're all printed out on like resume paper, and so I thought it would be kind of cool to maybe, you know, coffee dye some of the paper that they're, you know, coffee dye some of them and use them in my journals. So I'm kind of looking for inspiration, and I always find that in well, usually I find that in organizing and just, you know, touching things, and that kind of inspires me. Yeah, resume paper is just a little bit higher quality. Usually it has like a rag content, like a cotton content, and so it's a little bit higher quality paper, you know. And resume paper has changed a lot over the years, what people consider to be resume paper, you know. Onion skin paper used to be like the creme de la creme, you know, resume paper. But I don't know if you guys know what onion skin paper is, but I'll show you some onion skin paper. It's almost like tracing paper. Yeah, and there's different types of resume paper, but yeah, it does have a nice feel. But this is onion skin paper, so it's very similar to tracing paper. It's super nice in a typewriter. Like, it just, the way typed print looks on onion skin paper is just, it's beautiful. And they don't really make this anymore. Well, I mean, maybe they do, but I've not seen it, you know, at Staples or any place like that, you know. Maybe like specialty stores and stuff, they might. Yeah, it's kind of similar to glassine, but it doesn't have that wax on it. Let's see. Let me find a glassine envelope. So glassine has like wax on it. It's like, it's a little bit different, you know, it's like shiny kind of, you know, yeah, it is similar to glassine. Yeah, I get what you're saying. That paper that I was just looking at, it's cool because it's got those lines on it. Like, I think it came from like a law firm or something, you know. Let me pop out the chat because I'm kind of feeling weird looking at myself like 10 minutes ago. There we go. Typing on some baking paper. Yeah, it probably would. It probably would look similar. Yeah. The baking paper is, oh my gosh, what is that made out of? I always forget stuff when I'm caught off guard. But, what is it that's in that baking paper that makes it non-stick? Yeah, I know I don't know if it's wax or what it is, Kat, but it seems like it's kind of waxy. And I mean, you can write on it, but I know that, like, if you write on it with like a wax crayon or something, you can wipe it off, or like a grease pencil, it'll just wipe right off. So anyway, so I just coffee dyed a whole bunch of stuff. So I coffee dyed all those things, and then I got a couple of those little sets of spontaneously those little Cavallini stamps, because I was buying some other stuff on Amazon last night, and so I got this little set of rubber stamps, and Hi, Laura. You made it. You're late. You're always late to the party. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I got all these little rubber stamps, and I thought they were super cute. And I have been looking for more like elements to use in clusters, you know. So I pulled out, like while I was watching Shelly's live stream, I was just sitting here stamping on scraps of coffee dyed paper, and I pulled out all my peg stamps and just a bunch of, you know, different random scrap paper and stuff, and was just stamping on those. And I have all these little words that little sayings, precious little snippets, and joyful and happy, and these little word stamps. But I like them because they're a little tiny. And I like to use these in my clusters. And, you know, just attached on the edge of a page or something like that. I kind of like to add things to my journals that you might not notice right away. Like, just like little details that, you know, you could look through the book a few times. And yes, Laura has every single stamp that was ever made, I think. I'm sure you have those, huh, Laura? Those Cavallini stamps. All of them. Anyway, so I like to include little things like that, you know, people will discover at some point, you know? I don't know. Especially in the clusters, because they're kind of fun to just look through and kind of lift up the layers and, you know, see what's in there. So I guess maybe I should tell you what I do with these. Then I will take a just like a circle punch, and you don't have those stamps. Well, I'll be well, I guess I know what to get you for your birthday. Anyways, so I just punch them out. I just punch them all out and then add them to my, you know, my tray of elements for clusters. Yeah, she sent me some pictures of her stamp room. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's impressive. How long did it take you to organize that, Laura? Like a week and a half? And I don't... You guys all know what peg stamps are, I'm assuming. Maybe. Hopefully. If not, I'll show you. But watching Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, you know... Yeah, she has a stamp room. Watching Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, I sort of got hooked on peg stamps because she just, you know, she's all about them. And they are pretty darn cool. So... They're just, you know, little teeny tiny little rubber stamps. And they come in these little sets. So, rubber stamp tapestry. They come in little sets. So, you get like, you know, sometimes 3 stamps or 5 stamps or whatever. And then they create like these little patterns and stuff if you stamp them the way they suggest. So, I got a few, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 different sets, but I don't think I've ever done it the way they say. But anyway, so I pulled those out, and that's what a lot of these little images are from the peg stamps. So anyway, so that's kind of what I was doing while I was watching Shelly's live stream. And Shelly, so you're still coming back on Tuesday, huh? You're not gonna go sleep for a week? A stamp box. Yeah. I have okay, cool. You're good? Okay, yeah, I know. You seem like you have good energy level. You know, the chaga tea seems to be helping you with a lot of different, you know, I don't want to say ailments because I don't know, but I've not ever tried it. I have heard of it though, and I have some pain issues myself, so I'm kind of intrigued with it. I'm due to have a hip replacement at some point. And both of my knees. We won't get into that, but yeah. Well, I'm gonna research it a little bit and see about that, because I was taking prescribed pain medicine for a number of years, and decided that that wasn't the road I wanted to be on, and yeah, so I don't do that anymore, and that doesn't make the pain go away. So I'm working on these little journals. I posted this one on Instagram, and it's just made out of a little this is just made out of a little insurance receipt book. You know how back in the day, I think I talked about this last week, but back in the day, you would your insurance man would come, or woman, I guess usually it was a man, but anyways, would come and collect your premium every week or month or however you had it set up, and it was recorded in these little books. And anyway, so I had purchased a big lot of ephemera from eBay, and found there was a whole bunch of these in there. I would say probably 10, 12 of them. And I just thought they were perfect little journal size, you know. So this one is completely finished. I've got the little charms and stuff on there, and I guess I'll kind of flip through it a little bit if you guys want to see. But I've added some kind of interesting ephemera to it. There's a little concert ticket, and I add just little pieces of fabric on some of the tags and stuff like that. I'm flipping pretty quick, but I'll probably do like a video flip through of at least a couple of these. But there's some pages out of some old journals that were in that lot, and so I've used some of the actual pages. Like this is, that is handwritten in there on that paper, so it's pretty cool. I just love it. Anyway, so this one this is an autograph book, but it's got a bunch of, I just love that old pen and ink, like dip pens almost they used. 1912. So this was someone's personal autograph book. So, and I've been kind of going, yeah, I know, isn't it pretty, Kat? Thanks. Yeah, I am pretty excited about most of the stuff that came in that lot, and it was kind of sad. Like when I first opened the box, on the top there was all of these like somebody's ID, like their passport, and this man, and he was like an immigrant and stuff, and like I just thought, oh my gosh, I hope this whole box is not like this one guy's stuff, because it was literally, it was a 52-pound box of stuff, and I just thought, did they seriously just sell all that man's stuff, and I thought by the time I got to the bottom of it, I was going to be in tears, but thankfully, like, it was just a little bit of his stuff, and then it just turned into being just a whole bunch of people's stuff, and it's really, really cool, like, reading some of those letters, and like this little book. This was like given out from this clothier. It's just a little notebook, and I don't know if you guys can see this. I hope so. But it was just given out basically as, advertising for the clothier. And in Schenectady, New York, it's got a calendar for 1891 in here. So, but in it is a whole bunch of recipes. So, it's like my imagination takes me to, that this woman's husband had this little, notebook, and she probably thought it was cute. And, yeah, so it's like a brochure, but it's a notebook, so anyway, so she probably thought it was really cute, and, maybe he didn't, and this is just me, daydreaming or whatever, and he may not even know that she liked it, or that she had it, or whatever, and I think, well, maybe he was looking for it or something, I don't know, but she filled it with all these recipes, mostly for desserts, so it's just really cool, like anybody ever wondered, like, how you really make pound cake, anyway, there's cupcakes. There's cupcake recipe. Anyway, so it makes me feel like I kind of get to know those people a little bit, and it makes me feel closer to the ephemera, it just makes me feel more connected to it, and like reading some of the personal letters and that kind of stuff is just really amazing. I don't know. So I think that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Okay, Kat. Well, thanks for coming by. Yeah, maybe I'll take some pictures of it and I'll post it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm 2 Silver Oranges on Instagram. So. You saw me that night from that box, you're saying? Myrna? Okay, bye, Kat. You're asking where did I get that box of stuff? I bought it on eBay. It was like a buy it now listing, and it had been listed for $400. I wasn't going to pay $400 for it, but I really, really wanted it just based on the pictures. There was like 10 pictures of the stuff that was in there, and I just sent him an offer. I sent the guy an offer. Hi, Mitz! Oh my gosh, you made it! That's so cool. I'm so happy you're here. So, Mitz did an unboxing of some journals that she bought from me last year, like November, December. And her unboxing of those journals gave me a nice little boost. And it's super, super cool that you're here, so I can actually say, like, thank you for that. Really. That really was awesome. And Shelly, everything that you've done and how much you've supported me. You think you cry a lot? Like, I'm going to be bawling. So, anyway, but Mitz, you guys, Shelly, you guys are awesome. Never really felt like I would, and I am alive, Mitz. Never felt like I would ever get that kind of support. And, it's like, wow, just blows me away. Anyway, Thanks, you two. Everybody, not just you two, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I get kind of emotional about the ephemera, but you know, so there's some of it that like I kind of covet, like that little thing, like this little book. Like I'm never going to destroy this. You know what I mean? Well, and I shouldn't say destroy, because I don't really feel like I'm destroying anything when I'm disassembling a book and using pieces of it in one of my junk journals. Because first of all, like, yeah, it is a lot of paper. I don't feel like I'm destroying anything. I feel like I'm celebrating this stuff. You know, I feel like I'm respecting it, and even though I'm taking it out of this form of this book, right? I'm disassembling this book, and you know, some people feel like that's just a horrible thing to do. I feel like I'm allowing other people who look at the journals to kind of celebrate it again, and to kind of awaken that again, you know, because we don't do this anymore. Like this type of printing, and you know, we just don't put the same amount of care into you know, printing things on paper like we used to. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with vintage books and ephemera and stuff like that. You know, I don't feel like I'm destroying anything. I feel like I'm kind of bringing it to life again. You know, like this old journal that that was in that box, 1885. Yeah, I mean, what does it really mean? You know, I'm getting super deep and everything, but yeah, and that's right, and Annette, that a lot of it would go in the trash. You know, I don't feel like this stuff would necessarily wind up in the trash, because it's, you know, somebody has coveted it and held on to it since 1885, right? But who's going to see it? You know, who's going to see it? Like a collector or somebody in a museum, I guess, at some point. But it didn't wind up there. It wound up here for a reason. You know, it's here in my hands on my desk for a reason. So, you know, the universe kind of brought that to me. So it's mine to do with what I want, and I want to share it in a different form. So anyway, whatever. So I want to work on these journals. I'm almost done with these two. I'm not going to worry about putting the charms on them yet, but I do have 3 more that I need to try to finish up. And I'm almost. I just have these freezer paper. It's paper. Yeah, I've seen that with the freezer paper and napkins too, Myrna. I haven't tried it. I haven't gotten super into doing, you know, doing the decoupage with napkins. But I just wanted to show you guys, like, I told you I have literally thousands of greeting cards that I've made. Well, I'm kind of similar with junk journals, right? So this is what happens. This is what happens. So these all need to get finished. And this is just one box of them. These are all like stitched in, like the signatures are all stitched in, and they're all kind of put together and stuff. They just need like tags and embellishments and stuff like that put into them. So I've been working on these for probably about a week. That's just kind of how I roll. And just so you can see the insanity, like literally. So then there's, you know, 20 more of a smaller size. This is, so I actually looked up the sizing on Traveler's Notebooks. And, hang on. Because I thought, you know, it would be nice if I could maybe try to cater to that, you know, person a little bit that, you know, is into that. But, so these are the field notes size, I think. No, this is the passport size. And then those other ones are, these are the A6 size. So those will fit into, you know, the person or the A6 or the passport size covers. No, I didn't fix my sewing machine yet. I have my mom looking at my sewing machine. I think I'm gonna take it upstairs and let her look at it. So yeah, me and that sewing machine. And it's like a brand new machine, you guys. It's one of those heavy duty Singer machines. It's like a year old, you know. It's supposed to be heavy duty, but maybe I'm just too, you know, rough on it or something. I don't know. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. I almost get embarrassed in the amount of work that I'm like kind of producing, you know. I don't know. I don't know why, but because I feel like I'm a little bit obsessive, you know. I feel like I'm a little bit obsessive, but I have goals. So anywho, so in you know, basically finishing these, I'm just at that point where I'm, you know, filling the empty pockets, and you know, these are some glassine bags that I stitched into the journal. Just kind of at that point where, you know, I'm trying to fill those up with something, you know. And I'm pretty random about what I will add. I don't put a whole lot of thought into it. I just, you know, I prepare a lot of stuff ahead of time, and that's basically my method. Anything that, you know, flips out like this, I'll try to add something to kind of indicate that it does flip out, you know. And so I just wind up with, you know, piles of stuff on my desk. And I'll just pull out like a few of everything, you know. 1 second. I was kind of embellishing these little tags today just with some silk. Spent quite a good part of the day doing that. So, Mitch, what are you up to? What are you up to today? And you're in Japan, right? I'm assuming you're still in Japan. And it's probably morning there, right? Well, we need some junk journal salad, you guys. Rolling on the ground with your daughter. Oh. Nice. Is it winter time in Japan? I know that might sound like a silly question, but I know like in Australia it's summer. So I guess that's and not anywhere near Australia, obviously, but it's winter time there, right?
Still December or whatever, February in Australia.
Yeah, but in Australia, December is like summer. They're like opposite us.
But the seasons have to do with how far the Earth is away from the sun, not the.
Well, I'm not the one that created that situation, but it is like summer. It's like summer weather in Australia right now. Yeah, their winter is like they have winter when we're having summer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because they're like in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the glue gun just stays on constantly. I don't think I ever turn it off. I just replace it when it needs being replaced. So then, like on these kinds of, so when I put these journals together, I don't trim the pages just perfectly like before I assemble everything. I basically just take everything I want to put in the journal, put it all together, sew it into the book, and then I make it fit. I do it afterwards, just because it's more efficient and I feel like it's more spontaneous that way. Like I can just shove stuff in there, whatever I feel like, color wise or whatever goes together. I can just kind of shove it in there, and then I'll either trim the page, or I'll fold the page, or I'll make it into a pocket or something like that after the fact. So yeah, so I'm actually going to make that a pocket. And Steven just woke up. I've been trying to get him up all day. I'm just saying. He just woke up. Yeah. I should give you guys his email address so you can give him a hard time. So I took all the stuff from my collections, like all of the ingredients, I'm calling them, for my collections that I just listed on Etsy. And I needed to have that stuff in an area where it would be easy to just kind of assemble those kits, And I don't like to call it a kit, but I guess that's what they're going to get called anyways. Anyway, so I needed to have all of that stuff together in one place so that my mom could kind of help me in assembling them. So she happens to have 2 empty bedrooms upstairs. So I sort of took over one of those bedrooms with my my Etsy stuff. And she says I'm kind of like an amoeba. And now I've kind of outgrown MySpace. And now I have to I'm going to start using all of her space now. And I don't know why sometimes this punch will not work on one side, but it works on the other side. I don't get it. Laura, how's your clusters coming along tonight?
my cluster?
No, Laura.
Oh, because Laura has my cluster.
No. So this is like one of those things where, you know, you might not notice right away. This little tag with the word amazing on it in this little pocket. You know, you could maybe look at this book a few times and not notice that. Anyway, you're cutting boxes to make tags. Okay. You're not making clusters tonight? I thought you said you were making clusters. So today, I'm in, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Washington State, but most people think that it rains all the time here. But it does not rain in Spokane all the time. Since we're on the west side, or excuse me, the east side of the state, we definitely have oh, you're all clustered out finally? Oh, that's funny. I know, you get burnt out, but I need to make more clusters. I just used a whole bunch of them on the covers of those journals. Anyway, it does not rain here all the time. We have 4 definite seasons, and we're right smack in the middle of a cold snap. So, yeah, so it is supposed to get down to 4 degrees tonight, and we have gas heat in this house, but where our space is in the lower part of the house, and unless the controller of the heat, who lives upstairs, is cold, we don't get a lot of heat down here. So we're kind of at her mercy. I'm talking about my mom. Anyway, and she's somewhat warm-blooded, so, you know, she can live in like 60 degrees. So anyway, I use a fireplace down here to kind of heat the room, and in the den. So we ran out of firewood. Anyway, so through Facebook, found some firewood today, and yeah, guess who unloaded all of it and stacked all of it all by herself? Yeah, I did. Where was Steven? Steven was a tired little lamb. He was a tired little lamb. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is just a little scrap of paper with some decoupage napkin on it and some layered paper and stuff, and a little sticker that says "Make it happen." And I'm gonna stick a stamp on there. I'm gonna put the idea of a stamp behind it. I know, right? Huh, Shelly? I know. She said I was like Superwoman, honey.
You were.
I was. I still am. I love chopping wood, though. I do. I do. I like chopping wood. It's gratifying. So I don't like that flower because it's too much the same color as that. So I'm just, yep, I'm going to switch it out. And this is actually, no, it's not. I thought it was a card, but it's not. And let's see if I can find a tag that goes in there. I should do like a room tour kind of thing so you guys could sort of see what I'm working with here. I basically have everything I need within arm's reach. So, yeah. Because if I don't, I won't use it. You know, I won't use it. Well, you don't have to be a wood chopper, do you, Shelley? You remember that you won the drawing, one of the prizes in the drawing on my 300 subscriber. Yeah, yes to the room tour. Okay, Mitch. I've had a few people say that, so I'm almost there. I'll have to do it with my phone, I think. So, because I kind of have my webcam permanently mounted from the ceiling right now. But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so Shelley, you should get your box. They said on the 20th. So, and there's a birthday present in there for you too. So, just so you know. A birthday present.
Sorry guys, I'm having a choke.
Yeah, Steven's choking. And in these little guys, I tried to add like a double pocket in the center. I sort of like to make a statement in the center of the book, you know. So I've made up all of these little, you know, I guess banners that for this purpose, you know. Like you won the lottery. Your space is.
Somebody's name.
Annette, you want to see the room tour too? Okay. I think I'm almost ready to do it. You know, I mean, a person has to be somewhat organized to do a room tour, you know. But since I got all of the stuff for the kits out of here, it'll be a little bit easier. So anyways, I try to do some kind of little like statement in the center. So I don't know what made me think about the box for you, Shelley, but I think it was something to do with these little guys, but I can't remember. Still have a big box in one pile to put away. Is that still a big box of stamps, Laura? So this is just a library card catalog card. Actually, I'm going to go. Steven, you're going to get a spanking. Where is that hole punch? Can't find it. Oh, well, we'll use this one.
I thought you bought firewood.
I did buy firewood. I know. It's my covered with snow firewood. And don't criticize my firewood. He's criticizing my firewood. No judgment, just like to see how others... Okay, wait. No judgment, just like to see how others work and maybe get ideas for myself. How many watch hours do I have? I don't know. Honestly. I don't know. It tells you in... I have to do math to figure that out. Right? Because it tells you in minutes, right?
Well,
So
60 minutes an hour.
yes, I know how to do it, Stephen. I know how to do the division, but I don't really want to do it at the moment. I think last time I looked, it was like 400 or 500 maybe. So do you know, Shelly, when you live stream, the watch hours, I'm assuming that those hours count for each person that's watching? Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, or is it just like, even if just one person is watching, it's still just that number of hours? You know what I mean? Steven.
I'm in the garage.
I know, you're just marveling at my wood.
That was actually. I went in there so I could cough.
Oh.
Not disturb everybody.
You went to the garage to cough? That was considerate of you. So they count for each person. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
What's going on?
Well, thanks for watching. You know? I honestly, like, I mean, I think that would be super cool to, like, monetize my channel and stuff like that. You know, I just don't know how much energy I can put into thinking about it, you know? Like, I don't really want to think about it. I just feel like if that happens, it happens. And, oh, this is really cute. If that happens, it happens, and I'll be super grateful. Okay.
You don't want
The fastest way to killing hours is by live stream. Well, that's good. I know. And I want to live stream more. Like, sometimes I just feel like, you know, while I'm in the middle of my, you know, frenzy or whatever, like, I just want to turn the camera on and stream. But I don't know if I feel like, you know, necessarily talking or whatever. So I feel like that's kind of boring. I think I should just do it no matter what. And if someone shows up, yeah, label and tag the videos, yeah. What is that box? Yeah, and if someone wants to watch, they can, and they can just lurk if they want to. I guess I don't have to necessarily talk to people. Do I? I don't necessarily have to. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I will, because you know what? Sometimes it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But that's, you know, 6 a.m. in New York, so, you know, it could be good. You're right, I should. I will. When you first started streaming, you had no idea if anyone would show up. And I am still being productive, Laura, huh? Well, I'm using Myrna. She's asking how I have my camera set up. So I'm using a webcam. Like, it's a, you know, separate webcam. It's not, you know, on my laptop or whatever. And I actually have it mounted from the ceiling on like a long strip of wood, kind of right at the perfect like level, at the perfect height from my desk. And then, you know, the cord is just plugged into my laptop. When I do the room tour video, I guess I'll show you guys how it's set up. So it's awesome. I use zip ties and everything. I'm all about zip ties. You didn't even have a face group. or Facebook group yet, Shelly, when you started live streaming. So you just kind of jumped right into live streaming, and that's just kind of what you did. It sounds like. See, I just kind of started like with my Etsy shop, like, you know, just had some stuff for sale on there. Oh, you like the view? Yeah, it's, you know, it's a nice view, isn't it? You should have seen this desk yesterday, you guys. It was crazy. I cleaned it up when I was watching Shelly and because I wanted to do all that stamping. I wanted to do something. Well, I was watching her where I could still kind of pay attention. See, sometimes this thing works on that side and sometimes it doesn't. It's irritating. Okay, so your daughter told you that you needed to live stream. And so, so she was there the first time that you did it. So your daughter encouraged you. Yeah, my kids are pretty encouraging. I have a son who's, I've talked about him before, but he lives in Sacramento, and he is, you know, all about social media and, you know, encouraging me how to use it and, you know, what I need to be doing and that kind of stuff. You know, he'll look at my Instagram and tell me like what time of the day I need to post and stuff like that. So yes, I wish I could reach in and create with your stuff. Myrna, you know, I just want to tell you that honestly, like most of the stuff is stuff that I made, you know. I mean, it came from paper packs, I guess some of it, you know, but a lot of it is just stuff that I made, honestly, and it's all just paper, you know. I mean, these are just the Tim Holtz like ephemera packs and stuff, you know what I mean? A lot of these little things, that's all they are. I've used a lot of the Dover design books, you know, to get like, you know, some of these images and stuff. You live near Sacramento? Laura? On Camera Park on the way to Sacramento. Yeah. I used to live in California. I used to live in San Francisco when I was really super little with my dad. And then in Hermosa Beach. Well, we lived in Venice for a while. And my grandparents had a house in Redondo Beach. So I want to put a pocket on the back of this. I try to put a pocket on the front and the back of all my journals. Hi, Dottie. Yeah, this is the first time we've kind of met up on live stream, huh, Dottie? It's okay. I'm going to get a box and start with your inspiration. Good. Yay, Myrna. I want you to. Yeah. I just think it's so cool to be able to inspire someone, you know? I mean, heck, I think that's awesome. I never thought I would inspire anybody. Yeah, this little trays are cool. I think this was I got this at a thrift store. It was filled with those little teeny tiny rubber bands. You know, and then I got these ones at I think at a grocery store. This is my flower box. I picked up this trim that day that I got in a fight with the lady at Joann Fabrics. Well, thanks, Myrna. Yeah, so I'm going to cut this all apart and use these little flowers. Matter of fact, let's do that. I forgot it was in there. And you know what the other thing is, Myrna? Well, all of you guys or whoever's here, is that I'm just always looking at things in kind of in a different way, like looking, to see if I could use that in some other way. That's just kind of the spirit of junk journaling, I think, is just looking beyond a certain item's purpose, like this is trim. This is intended for, to be used in a specific way. But, all I see are just a bunch of little flowers that I can use in my books. And I mean, that's pretty obvious. Uh-oh. Drop frames detected. Thanks, Shelly. Yeah, that's Comcast for you. So I used to work for Comcast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Comcast. That was scary, huh, Laura? I know. It was super scary. Yeah, so I used to work for Comcast. And I used to work in retention. I think I talked about this before. I don't know if I specifically said who I worked for, but because at that point I think I was still working for them, or at least I thought I was. Yeah, I worked in retention. I know, Jane. I know. You wouldn't believe what I went through. And I'm going to rant a little bit about Comcast right now. And I'm sorry, but I'm just going to do it. It's kind of hard when you work in retention and you have to convince customers of how great the service is and basically tell them that, they're crazy by thinking that they want to cancel their service because the service is awesome. Well, you know what? My internet sometimes really sucks. It really sucks. And I'm not going to lie. It's so hard sometimes. It used to just be so hard to kind of, I don't know, not buy into that with customers. Because, you can't do that when, it's your job. And anyway, that was hard to do. But anyway. So now I can say Comcast internet sucks a lot of the time. So I'm just looking for something to layer on top of this little flower. Maybe another flower. No, I don't think it's going to get another flower. I think what's going to happen, I'm going to glue it on here. And then I'm going to stick one of these little guys on there. You spent more time with them than with your family on the phone? Yeah. Do you have Just curious, Jane, but do you have home security too? Yeah, it's a little blingy, huh, Laura? I put a little bit of bling on there. Yeah, Jane, do you have home security?
Yeah.
No, not with Comcast. Yeah. Yeah, so where I worked was with the Xfinity Home retention department, which was their, home security. And so any customer that had home security got transferred to us. And so yeah. So, that meant trying to save the home security service as well. But honestly, the best thing to do is talk to retention. Talk to somebody in retention if you're having trouble. If you're having trouble with your service on business line and told no. Xfinity. Oh, you have business service with Comcast? Yeah, I don't know anything about the business accounts. I don't know how they run their show, so this is my favorite part of doing these journals, is just this kind of this final embellishment, and just kind of filling it up with love, I keep thinking about those things that I just stamped today, all those little images and stuff, and I really need to punch those out. I think I might work on that a little bit, just because I want to use some of them. I get bored with the same stuff, using the same stuff all the time. Thanks, Jane. Are you talking about that tray? Oh, you mean the kit that I have online? That I have for sale? That took me a long time to consider what to put in that, if that's what you're talking about. I think it is. I took a lot of consideration. But thank you. You like the components? Thanks. Yeah, I kind of felt like you could use that, any of that stuff for any style of journal, or for whatever. I mean, you could definitely incorporate a lot of that stuff into a journal that you're working on now, it's kind of basic, I'm new to you. Well, you're new to me too. You're new to me too, so I'm glad you're here. There is a coupon that I can give you the code for it, Jane, if you're interested in that kit. It's actually in celebration of Shelly's birthday, and it's through the end of the month. But I'll put the coupon code in the chat, and if you're interested in that collection, you can use it. Okay, so it's just and there's no minimum purchase or anything like that. It's a 20% off coupon. So you would just use that at checkout. Okay? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And I don't know if you have to do it in caps or not, but that's what it is. And I think it just comes out in caps anyways. I haven't shopped on Etsy for a long time. Do you make junk journals, Jane? Well, that was a mouthful. Yeah, I want some of these images. No, it's okay. No. I know you're not yelling. And it's okay if you're typing in caps. If you're talking directly to me. Anyway, so. Shelly, I think maybe 2. Yeah. I think I had a purchase of some junk journal salad that came through there and used that coupon. Yeah. Not a big deal. But you're so awesome. I love how you're just like plugging away for me. It's so cool. Shelly, and actually, I'm kind of glad you're here because I wanted to ask you about something. So, a couple different ways that people have thought about this or talked to me about this. So, I don't know if I told you or whatever. I kind of don't really like talking about it because I feel like I'm sort of... We do need a boost sometimes, for sure. And, Mitz gave me a great boost, about a month ago. She's got a huge following in, journaling, like traveler's notebooks and stuff. Anyways, it was kind of a funny day. Like, I didn't even know what was happening, but I kept getting all of these sales, and I was just like, oh my God, like, what's going on, And then I went on Instagram and she had posted something on there, and I realized that that's what it was because I had sold these journals to her back in December, and I didn't really think anything of it. Well, actually, I did think something of it, but I kind of had put it out of my mind. But anyways, I'll get to the point what I wanted to ask you about. So I don't know if I told you, but Green Craft Magazine selected one of my journals to publish in their summer issue. Well, hopefully the summer issue. And like one of the senior editors had seen it on Etsy in my shop, and she emailed me and asked me to send it in to, for consideration. And they, selected it. So I know. Woohoo is right. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of floored. But, so here's my question. I'm thinking that I should try to, like, really increase my stock, like, in my shop, But at the same time, I've had people tell me not to worry about that, like that it almost makes your work more desirable if you don't have a huge stock. So I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that, and if you think that, do you think that will be a good boost? I guess is part of my question, because I'm thinking it will, but I don't want to like count on it. I'm just hoping that they don't come back to me, in a couple weeks and Yeah, if it's not there, they can't buy it. That's true. I know. That's what I keep thinking. But like I wrote an article and all that kind of stuff, so I know I'm kind of feeling like it's kind of like my break, you know. You can't find my store? Right, I know. I know. They've got to have something. I've got to have a good amount of stock. Okay, so let's see. How www.etsy.com/. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I like your custom, well, not your custom order listings, but I love your like craft with me listing and stuff. Like I like how you have those all formatted kind of similar. And look, it's burning, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
See if that link works, Jane. Hopefully it will. Otherwise, I think I can copy and paste it, but I think that'll get you there. Just FYI, any like shop name on Etsy is all one word. There's no spaces in the names of the shops. So you don't have these stamps, huh, Laura? Wow. This kind of surprised me. Took me to your videos, no sales. Okay, 1 second. Just a minute. Okay. Oh, maybe. Yeah, you might have clicked my name. That should work. Try that link, Jane, and see if that works. It should. That's like the most direct link you could find, or I could find, so. You're sweet. Let me know if it works. Hopefully. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm kind of excited about that, about the magazine thing, you know, but I'm trying not to think about it really. Although it is pretty sweet. Like, I don't know, it's a nice magazine. So, and it was just nice to have even been asked, you know, to submit the journal. And it's kind of cool because it's like a really like super rustic, simple kind of journal. You know, like the cover, I didn't do anything to it at all. Like I just left it totally raw, and I think they kind of liked that. So, yeah. So I'm happy about it. Laura. Do you even like junk journals, Jane? Maybe she won't want everything, Laura. She might not even like junk journals. Oh, nice. 2 silver and it worked? Cool. Oh, you do? Okay. Okay. Well, I have a lot of junk journals too. You know what's funny is that I don't journal. Like, thanks, Shelly. I hope you like your birthday present. I hope. I'm sure you will. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm sure you will, but it's totally, it's different. Yeah. Let me put it this way. It's Dee Dee Willingham inspired. Okay, Dee Dee Willingham and Shannon Green inspired. Yeah, I know Carla. Carla's pretty cool. I made her an admin in my Facebook group. And I was like, oh, by the way, I made you an admin in my new Facebook group. And she was kind of like, okay. Yeah, I love Dee Dee and Shannon too. Yeah, I've watched them for a long time. I kind of stopped watching Dee Dee's live stream. I used to, set my alarm clock and get up and watch her and stuff. And I actually, if you go back on and look in like the history on her channel, I sent her a giant box of Happy Mail one time that she opened on her stream. And I mean, it's a huge box of stuff. But that was pretty fun. So I just have all these numbers that I stamped and just kind of... Thanks, Jane. Thank you. There's more on the way. I've got a bunch of journals that I'm just going to be finishing up here in the next few days and getting them listed. Yeah, 4 a.m. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. Okay, so I think she starts at probably 9 a.m. then here, or 8. I can't remember. Because what time do you have now, Shelly? Isn't it like, you're like 5 hours different, I think, than Pacific time? And then I get tired of punching out numbers. It's only 9 p.m.?
No, it's 11.
No, in Hawaii. She's saying. Okay. So yeah, it's only 2 hours. Metal bag. Okay, wait. I nibbled chips and cut some to make heat gun flowers. Did a 4-layer. Oh, wow. So I hate gun flowers. I'm going to have to try that. I've heard a lot of people talking about those potato chip bag flowers. Is it just certain bags or what? Can you use any of the small, like, paper, like... Yeah, you guys don't have daylight savings time in Hawaii. I remember that from a different call center that I used to work in. And we used to call outbound, and we would call Hawaii. I used to work for Sears. And I used to call people and sell service contracts. These are just some little tiny pansies. I thought these would be cute in clusters. See? Little tiny pansies. There's some pomegranates. Some other little random flowers. I don't really use a lot of color. I don't think in my junk journals I use a lot of, kind of beige tones or whatever. But I do like to kind of, add some bold color now and then. Wish they would stop DST. What's DST? What's DST? Oh, thanks. Jeez, I'm with it. Yeah, it does kind of confuse things. Anyway, so that's enough little, actually I want some of these little blocks. I know. I'm actually a blonde. I really am a natural blonde. Just saying. So Shelly, I think it's interesting that people are like stressing you out to show your face on your live stream. I think that's, and I like what you said about that, Okay, Jane, have a good night. Have a good night. I'm going to be up for hours still. So yeah, and it'll post to YouTube whenever it's unfinished. So thanks for coming. Good night. And I love you too, Jane. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 4 degrees tonight. So yeah, it's cold. I was thinking that I like what you said about the radio stations. Yeah, I'm making little snippets, just little like ingredients. I work in these like everything is kind of like a process. Like I work in processes, and like I've always loved tedious work, yeah, I hope nobody starts stressing me out about that, Shelly, because I mean I will. I don't care. Like I would, but I mean, is that what we're here for? I don't know. Hi, Charlene. Doodads. Yeah, that's what they are. Annette, I don't remember if I said hello to you. I thought I did, but yeah, I did. You just haven't said much. Yeah, doodads. But anyways, I like to work. I work in processes, so I like to I'm never probably gonna ever use 10 ladybug images, but I might as well, if I'm doing it, I might as well do a bunch of them. Yes, components. So that they're there, I mean, making those little clusters, like, I go through a lot of stuff, but and I also like to have options. Lots of options. But then sometimes if you have too many options, you can't ever decide what you want to do, right? So it's got to be stuff you like and that you are going to use. But I'm always looking for components. Yeah, definitely. Always looking for, stuff I can use in those little layers. Can you guys hear the fire crackling? So I'm punching out like half of them, and then the other half I'm to, put away to punch out later as I need them. Oh, I should do some with this guy. You can't hear the fire? Oh, it's crackling away. I love being a subby. Me too, Shelly. We keep this fire going in here like from morning till morning, if possible. We did run out of firewood a couple days ago, and it was kind of scary. It's like, oh my god, like we don't have a fire burning, I don't know if I'll want to have a fire burning all summer, but but even then, it's nice at night and stuff, Okay, I want to get to these words. This is kind of what I was going for here, was these. All right, so all these little circles, I'm going to put in here. I am in Spokane, Washington. Charlene. Yep. In Spokane. for a long time I didn't use any kind of like text or anything in my journals for some reason. I don't know. I just didn't like the look of it. But lately I've been kind of into it, like just stamping on a little scrap of, chipboard or whatever. You're in Oregon, Charlene? Where in Oregon? I actually grew up on the coast in Oregon, in Lincoln City. Can you hear it, Dottie? A little bit, huh? Steven's keeping it going. He's tending the fire. Change scissors. So, since I'm not working at that call center anymore, this kind of stuff, I'm doing here, but this is what I used to do at work all the time. It's just, cut stuff out, and a lot of fussy cutting and repetitive cutting. Okay, Dottie, you're going to bed? Aw. Well, I'm glad we finally connected on the live stream, Dottie. Have a good sleep, okay? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Dottie lives in Texas. Yeah. Somewhere in Texas, I can't remember. Texas is like a whole other country, I hear. Well, if you just look at it, it's gigantic. So, Charlene, what are you up to tonight? What are you working on? Oh, Myrna, are you in Texas? That's right. I think I remember you telling me that before. Is Texas going to secede from the Union, you think?
Probably.
At some point.
Good old Texas.
God bless Texas.
Do they know I'm a Texan?
Yeah. Yeah. See? And it's the very tip, El Paso.
Oh, no, way over West Texas. There's a rich logistics in El Paso.
That's who you used to work for, huh?
Mm-hmm. We had a terminal in El Paso. Dallas.
Yeah, one of these days, my boyfriend and I are going to go to Texas together, and he's going to show me all around. And I'll get to sweat my butt off and
oh, yeah.
I think we should go in the winter time.
No. It does get cold in Texas.
I don't deal with humidity very well.
West Texas ain't so humid. Where I am, down by Houston.
Myrna, is it humid there where you live? Because he's from Cleveland, Texas, which is pretty close to Houston, but I'm just wondering because he's saying it's not as humid in El Paso, so I just want your opinion.
Dry.
Drier? I guess it probably is, huh?
Desert.
More deserty.
Sort of.
So then some of these I'm gonna just tear them.
That's my homie.
Okay, wait. So earlier today, we got a call from our high school that there was a threat for tomorrow, so now we don't know. Okay, yeah, she agreed with you, honey. I guess you do know what you're talking about, huh? Yeah, definitely don't send them. Definitely keep them home, Myrna. That's my advice. That's what I would say. I don't know if you're asking, but yeah. Oh my god, that's so scary. Yeah, can you hear the fire in that? Yeah, see? That's because, did you just put wood on there, or just stirred it up?
Stoked it.
Stoked it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a straight A student, doesn't want to miss.
That don't matter. If she's a straight
Yeah,
A
well,
student, then it won't hurt her to miss a day. That's the way I look at it.
yeah, if she's a straight A student, it's not going to hurt her to miss a day of school.
Especially if she be like to do it. I don't know what's wrong with her.
I mean, especially if there is a threat, like, okay, like, that's serious. Especially considering, you know, what just happened. It's like, I don't know. There was a shooting here. Yeah, exactly, with all the crazy going on. There was a shooting pretty close to Spokane. I think it was in the fall. And, oh my god. And there was, you know, one student was killed, and there wasn't any warning at all, you know? And it's like that kind of stuff, it just goes. It goes in, like, like, they kind of feed off of each other, you know? Like, I don't know. I would keep her home. Yeah. Yeah, if they called you... You know, my son's...
That wouldn't even seem like it, but...
Right, I know. My son's school, like, they've had so many, like, bomb threats and stuff that it's almost like they take them seriously. Like, the school takes them very seriously. But, you know, when you get that call so many times, like, there was a bomb threat today, blah, 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 you know, you almost just become sort of numb to it. Like, you don't really... Yeah, like, you kind of stop taking it so seriously when it happens so many times, like, you know,
Boy Who Cried Wolf.
yeah, Boy Who Cried Wolf kind of thing. But then, like, it does happen. It's kind of like when people commit suicide, you know, they talk about it for a long time, and then, you know, at some point they stop talking about it, and they do it. I don't know. scary. So I don't remember who it was on Instagram. I can't remember her like ID or whatever, but oh my gosh, she had so many cool like post office rubber stamps. I was so coveting them. Oh my god, she had like this huge box of them, and she said that she had gotten them from a friend of hers. But I found some of them. Not these aren't from the post office, but I love these kind of stamps. These little. Am I gonna ink around the torn edges on all of these, Laura? You know, probably not. Probably not. I mean, what I probably would do is try to layer it on something that's gonna contrast it. Like, you know, I'll put it on against something that's gonna contrast the color. Yeah, I don't ink everything. Especially not something that's, I mean, I do ink a lot of stuff for sure, but I think about where it's going to be in the book, and like, if it's near the edges of the book or something like that, is it likely that it would have discolored? If, you know, it's more likely that it would have discolored, which is the whole point to using like ink around the edges of something, right? That it just like is supposed to look like it naturally discolored that way, you know? If something is on the inside of a book, on the interior of a book, it's less likely to have discolored. So I think about that too, like when I'm inking something. So if I do ink it, it'll be when I'm adding it to the book or to the cluster, or, you know, to the book itself. If I put it together as I'm putting it in the book, if I'm just making clusters, I probably won't ink it. I don't know if that made any sense. Yeah, I almost need a new category in my box, huh, you guys? Yep, I definitely need to make more clusters. I've had a couple hundred of them, and I might have about 30 left. So, and these are just like days of the week, months of the year, you know. Super random. You like my organization system? Thanks, Charlene. It's really the only way that this would work, you know, I think. I mean, without just having a big old pile of stuff, you know. I think the reason that I need it is just because I like to do things in mass quantities, you know. I like to produce a lot at one time, and it's really the only way that that would work. So then if I have something like this that, you know, is like too many of whatever it is to fit in one of those little things, then it just has to get put into its own little container. Can I show a cluster? Yeah. I'll show you a few. Oh yeah, Laura can send you some clusters. She has tons of them. She has tons of them. So they're basically just layered elements, you know. Some of them I make where, you know, they're intended to be used like on a tag, to be used on a tag inside the book, or like on a pocket or something like that. So then I don't usually attach like a button or anything, you know, thick or three-dimensional on the front. No, like this one, and like this one's a little bit thicker and it's got the button. These ones are more intended to be used like on the cover of a book, or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't always put buttons and thick flowers and stuff on them like that one. I'll wait until I know where I'm going to use it before I do that. So I don't really like my journals to be extremely fat. You know, I mean, they are. I know they are, but I try to minimize that as much as I can. See, I inked around the edges on that little picture. I also inked around the edges on that little piece of paper. Excuse me. This little cluster. And then there's the, well, you know, and then some of them are done on like larger. I really like this one for some reason. I like the, you know, the angles in it. I like that these little pieces of lace are almost like arrows pointing that way, but this arrow is pointing that way. I don't know. Kind of contradictory. I definitely pay attention to composition, and I've taken a lot of design classes and stuff like that, and a lot of art history classes. I don't have a degree, but you know, I did go to college. Anyway, so I mean, I've learned a lot about like design, the elements of design and stuff like that, like just basics, and also studying photography. So, you know, I'm always thinking about balance, and you know, asymmetrical balance is really powerful. It's just more soothing to our eye, you know. Asymmetrical being heavier on one side than the other. You know, our eyes are, it's easier for us to look at something that's asymmetrical, and it's more pleasing to our eye, usually. Kind of depends on what it is. Yeah, the clusters do work really well on cards. Yeah. So these are paper clips. These are little clusters that are done on paper clips. And I'm just showing you these because they're a little bit smaller, but a little more detail in them. But, you know, I'm always paying attention to, you know, how is my eye going to move around this little piece. And you want to kind of give direction in, whatever your elements are, like even though it's super tiny, when a person's looking at this, their eye is going to move around it so that, they see all of it if you arrange things in a certain way. Oh, hi, Sebastian. Hi, Nicole. I'm streaming. What?
Hi, peeps.
Guess my car made it home alive.
Yep. Safety first.
Safety first. Anyway, so just talking about, so this is, like looking at like asymmetrical, design or whatever. The purple up here kind of balances out this heavy white at the bottom. Like it just kind of balances it. I don't know. Because it's off center. That white is off center, but this purple is a little bit darker, so it's kind of balancing that side to this side. This is physically heavier, whereas this is like a little bit visually heavier because of the color. So it kind of pulls it together. I don't know. Anyway, I overanalyze too. Yeah, small clusters work nicely as hidden paper clips. Yeah. Anyway, but I think that an asymmetrical, I think that's part of the reason that these work is because of that balance. I have a really hard time making things centered and perfect. I can do it. Hi, Annie. I can do it, but I don't like it. Like, it doesn't feel good to me to look at something that is perfectly aligned and, I don't know. You know what I mean. Thanks, Charlene. Yeah, so I do need to make some clusters. Anyway. And I need to finish those journals. Where's the other two? Where'd I put them? Oh, I've lost them. Oh, here they are. All right, so now I've got a little bit of... I just needed a couple of, something different to add to these journals. So... And I also said that I was going to try to use up a bunch of these bridge score sheets. I have so many bridge score sheets, it's not even funny. That's why I'm giving like 7 of them in each one of those collections. Way too many bridge score sheets. Let's see. I want to mount this on something. I know. kind of in the zone now, I guess, you guys. So I try to set a goal for myself, you know, every day as far as what I want to get done, you know. And if I get it done, life is good. Like, it's great. And then I can sleep. But if I don't, like, I always feel kind of, like, disappointed, you know? Like, sort of feel like, I don't know, like I failed. But, Shelly, you were talking about I don't know if you saw when I chatted in your live stream earlier, but you were saying something about how you were feeling about your birthday and like you know, that you just stress about it and stuff, and I don't remember exactly how you put it, but it was like you were saying that it was ridiculous the way that you feel about your birthday or whatever. And I just kind of wanted to tell you that I feel like it's okay for you to feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, if Shelly was saying that she gets concerned around her birthday about what she's accomplished or not accomplished and that kind of thing. And, you know, that she kind of struggles with the way she feels around her birthday. And that's kind of like how a lot of people feel about New Year's. That she feels that way about her birthday. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's okay for you to feel that way. Like, you should feel that way if that's the way you feel, because that's the way you feel, you know? And, I mean, if you don't like it, then that's one thing, and I guess you don't. But I was just thinking that, I was just feeling like, you know, there's a reason that you feel that way. And, you know, maybe when you figure out why you feel that way, then you'll change it. And then it's very ridiculous. It is a milestone of accomplishment. I know. I think you're doing really good. And as a milestone of accomplishments, and it stresses me out. Yeah, I guess I can relate to that. Especially as I'm getting older, like, you know, yeah, the internal pressure of it. Because you feel like you haven't accomplished what you want to accomplish by, you know, based on where you're at in your life. Have you always been like a goal setter? I'm just curious. Going into a room and people ask, what do you do? Yeah. I can relate to that. I guess, well, what do you say? I mean, just telling the truth, right? But it makes you think, oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it makes you think about it more. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, people ask me, what do I do? It's hard to explain. The judgment. Yeah. The judgment. You know, when I felt the most judgment in my life was when I have 5 kids. I have 5 boys. Society makes us feel this way. It builds an internal pressure. DJ is rude, actually. Yeah, absolutely. I don't quite get it. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of rude for people to ask what you do. Unless you're, like, thinking about dating them or something, I guess. I don't know. People that don't like being asked do ask others. Yeah. Maybe it just makes them feel better about themselves or something, or they like putting other people on the spot. Okay, so I need to put some little, like, tabs on this book. Use a thick one. Used to tell people you're a writer. Yeah. I've always said, well, I work in a call center. You know, that's what I do. And it's always like, I don't know, but people don't ask me that very often, but yeah, you can always ask back and say, well, what do you do exactly? I used to have a lot of people judge me about having a lot of kids. Like, well, what they felt was a lot of kids or too many kids or something. Because I had 5 kids, you know, and, you know, we didn't always have a lot of money and stuff. Like, it was like, well, like, I didn't have the right to have that many kids because we struggled. You know what I mean? And, that kind of judgment was weird. And I want to, like, now, like, I want to... People are nosy. People are nosy. But now, like, I want to take one of my kids now that I'm so incredibly proud of and just, like, transplant them and show some of those people, like, see, this is why I had them, because they're awesome and they're contributors. You know, they're not taking and taking and taking. They're contributing, and they're good parents. You know, it's always my goal as a mom to raise my kids to be good parents. Okay, I'm inking this little 8, Laura. Whoops. Just so you know. I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, I like that conversation. Yes, family. Yeah, I was looking at what you were saying, Charlene. That's kind of almost where I'm at. Like right now, like I almost want to say I'm retired, you know, but because I feel like I kind of am. My kids are, Shelly, my kids are 29 and 27, almost 28. 25, 19, and 17. All boys. And I have 2 grandchildren. 2 grandsons that I got to watch be born. It was so cool. It was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Seeing my grandchildren come in the world. Yeah. Pretty cool. And we have another one on the way. My oldest son has 2 kids, and so they're having another baby, and she's due here in just a couple months. And she said I get to be there when that baby's born too. So. All right, one more little tab on here, and I'm gonna layer it up. With a little rickrack. There. And then I want to add some postage stamps into this book too. Oh, I like that little pear. Got to glue this down. Alright, so I've got some basically like tabs in there, and add a few more little postage stamps just here and there. For surprises. And then I'll do like a tuck spot kind of thing with like a piece of a postcard. I'll just take a postcard, and I like the ones that are used, you know, and sometimes like the Christmas ones or whatever that I'm not going to use I just don't do a lot of Christmas themed stuff. Anyways, a lot of them have a lot of writing on them, so I'll just tear them up and use the back of it. And so I'll just kind of layer it up a little bit, and then staple it onto a page. I like that spur of the moment. And then I want something teeny tiny on there, like a little butterfly. How about that little bee? Good night, Myrna. Hang up and leave. Good company, but I've got to sleep. Good night, Myrna. Thanks for coming. Thanks for visiting. I appreciate it. Have a good sleep. I think I might actually sign off here pretty soon because I'm getting hungry. But anyway, so that's just kind of how I make a little tuck spot. Just kind of layer it up and find something that will fit in there. Like a piece of advertising. This is just cut out of an old magazine. Just tuck it right in there. So to start from the beginning, yeah, I think I am going to sign off here, you guys. I am actually getting pretty hungry. And I think I'm going to pay some attention to my boyfriend too. So, but thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It was awesome. I want to try to, like, you know, I like doing Sunday night, like, or Sunday afternoon, like around 4 or 5. And Laura, you know, is pretty committed to that too. So I think that's a good time. And thank you, Annette. But I'd like to try to figure out another night or day or whatever that, you know, I could live stream where you guys want to, you know, come and hang out. So I have been thinking Wednesday, like Wednesday afternoon. And good night, Irit. Thanks for coming and visiting. So anyways, I'm going to try to do that on Wednesday, like probably around 4 or 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then for sure next Sunday at like 4 p.m. So, all right. You guys have a great night, okay? Thank you, Shelly, for all your, you know, support all the time. Thank you, Annette, Myrna, Charlene, Laura, Dottie, who's signed off, but Irit. You guys are awesome. Have a good night or day wherever you are in the world. Okay. Love you. Good night. Bye.